There is a lie that has infected the modern world. It is a lie so pervasive that you don't even notice it anymore. It is the background noise of your civilization. It is whispered in classrooms. It is painted on the walls of museums. It is embedded in the movies you watch and the news you consume. It is a lie about you. It tells you that you are nothing more than a biological accident, that you are the unintended byproduct of blind cosmic forces, that you are just a clever animal with a large brain and no soul, and that when you die, the lights go out forever. This story is presented to you as science. It is presented as the inevitable conclusion of enlightened thinking. But in reality, it is the most destructive myth ever told, and we are watching it destroy the human soul in real time. Welcome to the battle for your identity. Two stories are vying for the privilege of explaining your existence. Two stories are competing for your life, and they cannot both be true. The first story is the one you have been fed by your culture. And to understand its power, we have to look at how it starts. It does not begin with God. It begins with dead matter. It says that billions of years ago, the universe simply happened. There was no mind behind it, no plan, no purpose. There was only the blind churning of energy and physics. Over eons, this dead matter collided and clumped together. And then on one moderate-sized planet, something impossible happened. Life emerged from non-life. The story admits it is a mystery how this happened. But it insists on one thing. There was no creator involved. From there, the process took over. Random mutations, natural selection, millions of years of death and struggle. Until finally, a primate stood up, developed a slightly larger brain, learned to use tools, and became you. In this story, you are not the goal of the universe. You are a fluke, a cosmic lottery winner, a branch on the tree of life that happened not to snap off. You are, as one famous atheist put it, just a machine for propagating DNA. Or, as another said, just a chemical scum on the surface of a rock. Now I want you to stop and think, really think, about the implications of this story. If this story is true, then human dignity is an illusion. Why is a human life worth more than a rat's life, or a pig's life? In a world of accidents, there is no answer. In fact, some philosophers have followed this logic to its dark conclusion. They argue that a pig with high cognitive function might be worth more than a human infant with a disability. This is not a fringe opinion. It is the logical conclusion of a worldview that denies the image of God. If this story is true, then morality is just a survival instinct. We do not put lions on trial for killing zebras. We do not call it murder. We call it nature. If you are just an advanced animal, then your bad behavior is not sin. It is just genetics. It is just instinct. There is no real good. There is no real evil. There is only what helps you survive. And most devastating of all, if this story is true, then your life has no ultimate meaning. You are here for a brief flicker of time. You struggle, you love, you suffer, and then you vanish into the void. The universe does not care that you existed, and eventually the sun will burn out, and no one will remember that humanity was ever here. Is it any wonder that we are facing a crisis of mental health? Is it any wonder that anxiety is an epidemic among young people? We have taught a generation that they are cosmic accidents. We have stripped them of their eternal significance. And then we wonder why they feel empty. We wonder why they are desperate to invent their own meaning, to create their own identities, to find some reason to matter in a universe that tells them they don't. But there is another story. an older story, a truer story. This story does not begin with accident. It begins with intention. It says that before the universe existed, there was a mind, a person, a father. It says that the cosmos was not a mistake. It was a masterpiece, spoken into existence by a God who delights in what he makes. And it says that when the Creator made you, he did something he did with no other creature. The text of Genesis slows down. The language shifts. The creation of the stars was spoken in a sentence. But the creation of you required a counsel. And God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, the image of God," the imago Dei. This is the most revolutionary idea in human history, and it is the only solid foundation for your life. But what does it actually mean? It is not vague, it is specific. First, it means you were made for a relationship. You are not a biological machine. You are a son. You are a daughter. You were made to know the infinite God, to walk with him, to speak with him. That longing you feel in your chest, that hunger for something more, that is not a biological error. That is the homing beacon of your soul. Second, it means you have intrinsic worth. Your value does not come from your productivity. It does not come from your bank account. It does not come from your beauty or your followers. It comes from who you are. You bear the signature of the King. This is why the taking of innocent human life is a crime against heaven. Third, it means you are a moral agent. You are not a slave to your instincts. You were given the dignity of choice. You can choose between light and darkness. You can choose to love. You can choose to sacrifice. You are not a robot. Fourth, it means you have a vocation. You were placed here to cultivate the earth, to bring order out of chaos. You are not a parasite on the planet. You are a steward. Fifth, and this is crucial, it means you are an embodied being, male and female. Your body is not a prison. It is not an accident. It is part of the sacred design. The enemy of your soul knows this. And this is why the battle for your mind is so intense. The serpent cannot strike God directly, so he strikes God's image. He strikes you. He wants to degrade you. If he can convince you that you are an animal, you will start to live like one. You will give in to your basest appetites. You will treat others as objects to be consumed rather than people to be loved. He wants to destroy your hope. If he can convince you that you are alone in the universe, you will despair. You will stop looking up. You will stop praying. Think about how this lie is performed in your culture. Think about the museum. You walk through the halls. You see the timeline stretching back millions of years. You see the dinosaurs. You see the progression from ape to man. The message is subtle but powerful. It says science equals truth, and the Bible equals myth. It says the past is deep and you are insignificant. But what if the museum is wrong? What if those timelines are an interpretation, not a fact? What if the evidence points somewhere else? What if the complexity of your DNA is not the result of random chance, but the code of a master programmer? What if the fine-tuning of the universe is not a lucky roll of the dice, but the preparation of a home? You have to make a choice. You can believe the story of the accident. You can accept that you are mud that got lucky, that your loves are just chemical reactions, that your morality is a fiction, and that your destiny is the grave. Or you can believe the story of the image. You can believe that you were knit together in your mother's womb, that you are known by name, that you are broken but redeemable, and that the King of the universe has stepped into history to rescue you. The world has handed you a counterfeit map. It leads to nowhere. It leads to the absurd, to the desperate task of rolling a rock up a hill forever. But the true map reveals that you are royalty in exile. You are the image of God, and that truth changes everything. It changes how you treat the poor, because they are not burdens. They are image bearers. It changes how you treat your body, because it is not a tool for pleasure. It is a temple. It changes how you face death, because you know that the one who made you will not let you see corruption. Do not let them tell you that you are an accident. Do not let them tell you that you are an animal. You are a design. You are a purpose. You are a child of the King. The enemy wants you to forget who you are. But today you remember. Live like it.